Saying hello everybody, welcome to my workshop. My name is Conrad Hicks. I'm an artist blacksmith and I, I make tools. Tools for me and art are virtually the same thing. I started by studying sculpture, but when I was young I fell in love with blacksmithing and had to learn how to make all my tools. And the craft of blacksmithing is basically tool making. A blacksmith has to make all their tools, has to know how to maintain them, and a blacksmith also makes all the tools for all the other crafts. So a blacksmith is essentially the first craft. Um, So what happened when I started making all my tools was that I realized that what I was doing is actually just making them beautiful. And if a tool was beautiful, it worked. I really got interested in that whole process. When I was making my all the other work that I was doing, the more sculptural parts of those pieces of work were actually very similar to the tools that I was making to make the work. And the tools became integral to the whole process. Also, I did some research and discovered that there's quite a few other people who also have theorized about tool making and beauty, and there's a guy called Dennis Dutton who really blew me away. He has a theory called the Darwinian theory of beauty, which speaks about beauty as being the main driver, the quest for making beautiful things as being the main driver for our evolution. And what I found myself doing is rather than thinking about making sculpture, how I thought about it was making tools to communicate and tools that investigate my subconscious. After working for so many years, the language that I was using became blacksmithing. So it becomes a language through which your subconscious can be expressed. So what I'm going to do today, just got to check the material. You don't want it to melt. That would be a disaster. It's quite a big chunk of copper in there. Can you see this piece of copper? Yeah. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on this. I'm going to show you the process of how I hammer the material out. And while I'm doing that, I am going to be looking for things that want to come out of the material. And those things are hopefully be a recognition of my kind of a subconscious language. That is the big aha moment of what I'm doing. Let me check the material again. Okay, so we're ready to forge. I just also wanted to say, so the crafts and the tools that I use are very traditional blacksmithing tools. Anvil, power hammer. There's a couple of furnaces there. There's a very big old power hammer. That was my first power hammer. Presses. These power hammers. So on these hammers I've made all of the tools that I use, the dies that I use under the hammer. feel that after many, many years, these machines are actually extensions of my fingertips, which is what a blacksmith does. So a blacksmith, because he makes all these tools, those tools become part of the process, and I find that it can become my expressive language. Okay, so we've got to move over that. So while can you hear properly? So while I'm working, I'm looking at these hammer marks, and in my previous piece that I'm working on, there were some marks that came out really beautifully, and I'm going to try and get more of those in this little section of what I'm making. So I'm just following my kind of instinct, playing around with the shapes, with the hammer mark. Of course, if this was a piece of steel, I'd have to stop hammering it because it would be too cold by now. The copper stays soft for quite a long time. And put it in the fire again to start it. Talk about it. Huh? 30 minutes. 15 minutes. 30 minutes already in. Okay. Right, I'm going to tuck it back in the pan. I'm up to the fire. So, okay, so this is a conventional blacksmith forge, which is powered by an air blast and a pulse. I use charcoal as well to make it a little bit more environmentally friendly, but a big fire like this is used. Okay, so what happens when you forge copper, and I'm using a tool which is attached to the bottom of the hammer, which is shaped very much like this hammer, which is my hand hammer, and it has a peening action, which means that as opposed to a flat action. So if you hammer your material flat, it's going to spread. But if you hammer it with this side, it spreads the material that way, away from that, in that direction. You can obviously understand, and the energy of the blow will be pushing it. So when I hammer the copper, there's a hell of a lot of sideways force imparted into the material, and the material has to go somewhere. So what happens is it pushes, the material has to rise up or sink in another part of the thing, and then you get these beautiful organic shapes coming out, which is what I'm looking for, because those shapes are the come from the inherent qualities of the material. The forces inside the material push by, in their nature, these beautiful fluid curves and things. So what I'm trying to do is to bring out the qualities of the material and to look at points in the material that really resonate with my subconscious. It's kind of like abstract expression. How much time?
15 minutes.
Um, let's go over here and I'll show you what's happening on my table. So come close here. Hello? Okay. So this is a piece that I worked on Thursday, and you can see all of these hammer marks in the material, but little parts like that and this and these lines that are polished out, to me, are really very, very beautiful. Those are the ridges between the hammer marks, and this line here. And then, so I'm going to try and bring those out in this one. And then you get these edges, which I find really lovely. So, and that one, look at that line there. We have 15 minutes left. Yes, I'm going to just try to do a little bit of hammering on the anvil here because there's something I want to bring out. And you can see how soft copper is when it's hot. It moves. Of course, I've only got one hand. Just think, yeah. Now we go over here. So it's usually a little bit more relaxed than that, but because I'm trying to cram it all into a small amount of time, I'm going to stop there and then I'm going to show you the patination. I think I'm going to take it over to the fire, put it on next to the extractor and cool it down a little bit to about 200 degrees, and then we're going to put on some acids, which are patinas, and then I'll show you a little bit of the polishing. All right. Anka, give us a time check.
There's about 10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it 45 minutes or 30 minutes?
45.
45. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna speed this process up a bit because I want to show you how the patterns come out. So I'm gonna work over here. I'm gonna polish a little bit, and I'm gonna use this guy, which is a polisher with an abrasive flat wheel on it, which I can go into details quite a lot. And then I also want to find out if there are any questions.
Not yet.
So this one, let's take this damn thing off. What's happening is the patina that I sprayed onto this one, which I'll show you just now, is in all the holes here. And the highlights I'm polishing up. In this piece, I used a different process where I took this tool, which has got this beautiful pattern on, which actually comes from the end of a piece of steel bar that was cut by a flake. So, and it's got this beautiful pattern. So what I did was I hammered that into here, and now there's this rhythm, because it's a repeated pattern that's come out that I'm interested in bringing out. How can I see you? That's what I've got there. Okay, so what I've just done is I've sprayed a mixture of copper and nitric acid, which deposits copper malachite crystals on the surface of the copper, and that is obviously the green color. So that's a patination, and it's the same as rust. So it would be the equivalent of rust. And then I'm going to, still a little bit hot, but I'm going to move it over there, and perhaps I can just start with the polishing to show you how it brings out the form that I was trying to find in the hammer mark stuff. So let's go back over there. So normally I would be working on the forging part of it for a much longer period, and I would take a few days and let the piece kind of speak back to me and give me a lot of feedback. But we're just talking about process here, and so I just wanted to show you the amazing moment of discovery which gives, this is for me the most exciting part when you start polishing it and it transforms into a thing of beauty which speaks.
Conrad, can you tell us what grade of copper that is?
Sorry?
What grade of copper that is?
It's 95% pure copper. It's 98%. Can you see this? Are we done? I'm also going to spray a little bit of ammonia on here. It brings out the blue. Can you hear me speaking through this mask? And now that the ammonia is gone, very quickly, what I normally do is, while it's hot, put a bit of absorb the water vapor again as it cools, and then you have to heat it up and start the whole process again. Work with a bit of sealer. Can you see Amazing. Get up and start working on all of these parts. But what I'm seeing here is this really nice spine in the middle that I want to bring out. And more. So there's quite a lot of nice lines here, and especially this one. This one I'm going to really polish up. And I think I'll probably fold this piece more like that. And then what I'll do is polish up all these little small details to bring out the ridges. So any questions? Are we done? Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or you'd like to contact us, I'm sure there's a mechanism via Create Day, or you can Google me, and it'd be lovely to chat. Thanks. Market, great.